It's Perp back with another video, and Cruel Summer is back with season 2, and this is my episode 1 review. I was kind of hesitant on reviewing this, but we're gonna get into it because I have mixed feelings. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this season. The first season was okay, but this season, just based off the first episode, just feels very, very predictable. And there are some interesting things, and we're going to get into it. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at perpminded420, and let's get into it. So as usual, they always start off the episode or the series breaking down like specific moments in which we're going to follow. It's broken into three different timelines. We got the 99 summer, 99 winter, and 2000 summer. And we get introduced to our main character, Megan. She's pretty straightforward and, straight edge, really into, computers, wants to get into college and major in computer science. And this is where we see in winter 99 that she actually gets this acceptance letter and whatnot. But where this whole kind of thing sets off, where the mom is kind of inviting this character Isabella to live with them for at least a year. I'm still kind of confused on how that whole situation works out, but I just continue to watch it. And then we get the 2000s timeline where in a whole year, her whole feature and just her look changed. Like, she's listening to completely different music. Throughout this whole entire first episode is very nostalgic with the music. But that is where I was like, okay, this feels too similar to like Jeanette and just the abrupt change. So I was like, I don't know where they're going to really go with this at this moment. But pretty much they got all these things kind of set in stone, or they're just kind of setting things up throughout this episode, where in summer 99, she's not really liking the idea of Isabella coming, and then all of a sudden in winter 99, they're kind of like best friends. And then in 2000, you see Megan kind of running from the cops or avoiding the cops. So then we start off with the summer of 99 with Megan and Luke, which Luke is her best friend at this time. Then we see it jump to the winter of 99, and they're kind of all kissy, more than just friends. And then it jumps back to Megan and, her mom just being really excited for Isabella to get there. And she's just kind of like, you're doing a little bit too much for this girl. We don't even really know her. She's a complete stranger. Then fast forward to the summer of 2000, and you see Megan working on some type of code. You see a floppy disk, and she confronts this one guy and says, like, who ratted, who's telling, the cops were at my house. And we don't know exactly what that is or what's on that floppy disk that she pretty much handed this guy, but I think it's going to be something that's going to play into something later on in the season. Now with Isabella's arrival, she comes bearing gifts, gives Megan's sister like a diamond like necklace or something like that, gives her mom a vase, and gives Megan this like murder mystery book, which is really interesting. She starts to kind of snoop in her room, but then gets caught, and you see that she has all these different passports and stuff like that and stamps, and it's definitely kind of shady. Like, why all of a sudden that you want to come here? And it seemed like, for me watching this part, is that she's obviously running from something, or she's used to just being in trouble. I don't know. She was always kind of suspect to me. Really odd. But she gets kind of caught red-handed, and before it can go anywhere, Megan kind of leaves Isabella's trailer. Then it flashes to winter 99, and they're back in her trailer. And like I said, it's really weird to kind of see them being really close at this point. And you could see that Isabella, I forget exactly her name, but she is obviously has some type of effect on Megan, where she's starting to kind of open up more and not be so, you know, closed off or too safe, I should say. Then we see in the summer of 2000 where a lot of things just change within the house, where it's odd that the little sister is asking the big sister for money. The mom doesn't really have it. You see kind of pills there, and it seems like she's kind of dove into some type of substance abuse, and then it flashes back to summer 99, and Megan's mom just wants Megan to go take Isabella around town, show her around, and then we see another moment of them jumping off this cliff and just Megan thanking Isabel about just being friends and making a change in her life, pretty much. Very weird stuff. Like, I just didn't know where this was going. As I was watching this, it just kind of felt very random. Back in 2000, though, summer 2000, you have Megan looking at this missing persons picture, and then one of her friends says, like, this would have never happened if this chick, Isabella, whatever, moved into town. And then you see her going to Megan's job back in summer 99, and how this guy's kind of scummy, how he's kind of cutting Megan's hours even though she needs the money just to play favorites for somebody else, which is really fucked up to do. So as Megan and Isabella are going around town, she finally meets Luke, and at this time Luke and Megan are just kind of friends, but she definitely gets kind of jealous, which I started to kind of immediately think, like, okay, I could kind of see where this is going. Shifting things back to 2000, and we have Megan in line, and she kind of overhears people talking like, oh, they found a body and whatnot. She kind of just runs out of this spot, very suspect, like, goes to this cabin that we see throughout this whole entire episode and starts to scrub up this blood. And good thing she's wearing gloves and whatnot, but she kind of gets spooked because she hears the door creak open a little bit. So I'm curious to see how that all went down. But Luke's father and Megan's mom have been kind of building up a whole relationship. They work with each other. They work at like this kind of retail development spot, whatever. And I can kind of see what kind of goes wrong and why they went their separate ways in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Or just it kind of went south, or it got kind of muddy. So interesting stuff there. Now Isabel, whatever you want to call her, she meets everybody else. You see Jeff, the black guy with the camera, which that's gonna come back and play later. That's interesting. Then it shifts back to 99, winter of 99 and stuff like that, with Megan and Luke at the cabin getting a little nasty, but then ends up being shocked by a gunshot outside. And apparently this guy out here, he's like a famous coder or something like that. I don't know. Weird guy, got a shotgun, kind of freaks them out. Obviously he's gonna play a bigger part later in this season. But then we shift things over to Luke's father and Megan's mom's, like this whole holiday party. Everybody's enjoying themselves, and it flashes from 99, winter 99 to summer 99, and you see Megan and all of them just forming at this like really cool spot where like there's this whole lake, and around this lake they have this like light kind of coming around, like it's like a highlighted outline of the lake. And we see Megan getting peer pressured into drinking, and she's just not really with it, but ends up doing it anyways. Shifting things back to winter 99, and you see that Luke is also kind of dealing with the pressures of living in his father's shadow, which he has other ambitions. And he also tells Megan, I love you, and Megan says, I say, I love you back. But before they can get any closer, obviously, Isabella comes in to the middle to just kind of disrupt that. But here's where the juicy drama, starts to unravel, and we're starting to get somewhere as, Luke notices that Megan is just, she has a hard time letting new people in and never thinks that, her and Isabel are going to actually be cool. But then it shifts to Winter 99 where they're just kind of singing and dancing, just enjoying each other's company, and then bounces back to the summer under 99 where, of course, they're all drunk. So then Isabel like approaches Megan and asks, is it okay if me and Lucas hook up? Like, y'all are just friends, right? And I think that's going to be kind of like the seeds of what's going to end up happening in episode 2 and beyond. Because she's definitely feeling a bit jealous. Back in 2000, they find a body. They don't reveal it yet because they're just hopping back and forth. Now, this is where things get really interesting. But before we get into that, we see a scene in the summer of 99 where Megan apologizes to Isabel for, snooping around her stuff. Then we get to this holiday party where Luke's father makes this dedicates this toast to his deceased wife, and they all get together to watch a favorite movie. And what gets played on the screen is actually a sex tape, and it's Luke fucking Isabel, and yeah, this shit went crazy. And now, going back to 2000s, they find the missing body. The missing body ends up being Luke, and Isabel's telling Megan, we gotta get her story straight. That's where my issue is with this, because now I feel like it's gonna be predictable, where I don't think it's either going to be Isabel that pushes Luke off a cliff or something, or it's going to be or it not even push off a cliff, but maybe Megan's the one that kills Luke. Either or, I'm predicting it's one of those two, but either way, they both have something to do with Luke's death. And I don't know, this episode was pretty slow, finished relatively strong. I just think they wasted a lot of time, and they just do a little bit too much jumping around for me. And like, I already got that with Yellow Jackets. Don't really need them to do that with Cruel Summer. But if y'all like this first episode, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.